Hello, everyone, and this is Michael Voss, and I am here with the one and only Larry Sharpe from the Libertarian Party here in New York. We're having a great conversation. He's just spoken at the Binghamton University Liberty Weekend being put on by the Binghamton University Libertarians and the Binghamton University College Republicans. It's been a great event, and actually, guess what? You may not be aware, you got as many people, actually more, than Beto did in his most recent event.
There we go. There we go.
So there you go.
And I don't even have to have a fake Spanish name.
There you go.
Good.
And you'll hear some background noise, folks. Hey, that's what happens when we're going out there and just putting things out. Now, I wanted to speak with Larry after the fact, and this is about, I think, the third or fourth time we've had a conversation.
Yep.
Except this time is the first time that we're not in an election.
That's true, yes. Every other time I was running.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now I'm just dealing with Larry Sharpe, a citizen and an advocate.
Sure.
For the Libertarian Party.
I hope activist.
I
hope activist.
Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yep.
So, okay. And you just had a great conversation talking to a lot of students, a lot of, a range of people from...
Yeah, there were students and non-students. There
Yeah.
were local people from the area. One guy drove up from the city. People came from Batavia. People came from other areas. So, sure. There were probably half of them were students, and the other half were... Some faculty was there also.
Yeah,
and teachers.
I see this is pretty common because I've seen some of the events you've been at,
Yep.
and you draw a very wide and diverse group of people.
Consistently, I draw women and men. Mm-hmm. Consistently, I draw Democrats, Republicans, and independents, libertarians. I don't often draw a lot of people of color unless I'm in New York City. New York City, I draw lots of people of color.
Well,
right? New York City, lots. And more black than Hispanic.
Why?
And this is the weird part. In every poll we've done, I do better with Hispanics than I do black. Every poll. Yes, really, really odd. But when it comes to actual events, Hispanics don't often show up. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But they love me. They all online presence love me. In person, if I'm in New York City, heavily black, not as much Hispanic.
It's interesting.
Yes.
And
I don't know why.
And it's for people who look at politics, follow these kind of things, that's really interesting numbers when you start going through it.
Absolutely.
And that just gets my brain going on that political side in such an interesting way.
And I did Western New York 2 weeks ago after the campaign, and I found a huge chunk of women. One of my events had more women than men. Literally, more women than men. And that was rare during the campaign. After the campaign, having more women in the room than men actually happens. And I also find often people come to the events now, people didn't vote for me.
And see, that goes into what I have to ask as the first question. Now that the campaign's over, now that that aspect has died down a little bit, you're still out going around, going to events, and you still have people coming to the events, which is, a lot of people don't think about it. After the election, you're not running for anything.
That's correct, yes.
And people are showing up.
Yes.
And like I said, you got more people than Beto O'Rourke,
people
the
buying
fake
t-shirts,
Hispanic.
you saw them.
Yeah, they were just buying t-shirts for you.
Absolutely.
So why do you think that is?
Because I'm the only guy who's talking about the real problems of New York. That's the issue. When I show up, I talk to people about what's actually happening, how the education system's failing, and here are my plans to fix it. And I tell them what's actually working. There's change happening already. I told you about my MTA plan that's actually starting to be put in place. SAFE Act, raising money through bridges and tunnels. That's already starting to happen. Don't get me wrong, it's small, obviously, but that's the only thing that's changing. Nothing else is.
Right.
And then when people say, Larry, my son or my daughter has this problem, or my husband or wife has this problem, I go, yeah, I heard. And here's how we could actually fix that. And here's an answer for someone who actually cares about what's happening with you. And I don't just talk about platitudes. You saw there were things I said people didn't like. I took a stance on things that not everyone liked. But I said what was actually happening. No one, at least in that room, said, you're lying. They might have said, I disagree, but no one said, you're lying. And that was a common thread throughout the campaign and even after. The idea that most people believe that I'm saying what I actually feel, which sadly, that's rare for politicians. That's sad, but it's true. They actually go, they may disagree with me, but they go, no, he believes that. He thinks it's true. And the problems he's saying are real problems. Even though I may disagree with how he wants to fix it, they still know that I have an actual issue and a concern, and we have a way of fixing it. Yes.
Well, and we have some people coming by, folks, so don't mind that. But let's ask, this kind of leads into another question. And actually, give me a second.
Yeah.
Ben so hard. Ben did. Ben tried to die because he tried to go off road with his squad and no one followed.
Just lots of students there.
It's the Nerf Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're playing a modified version of Tag
There we go. Yes.
from way back in the day with Nerf. But where I was going is looking at the continued interest. Is that interest in the Libertarian Party? Is that in Larry Sharpe?
Yeah, it's a great.
Or is it a combination of both?
It's good and it's bad in that people have joked and called themselves Larrytarians.
Larrytarians.
Yes, because I think most of it was because of what I was saying, right? Look, when anyone goes to any movement, Libertarian Party, Republican Party, Democrat Party, whatever it is, some idea, it starts because someone said something that they agreed with or thought was interesting or new, right? Oh, that thing makes sense. I like that. Who's this guy? Then they go. In New York, I was that guy, right? I was the messenger. I said, hey, here's some ideas. One of the reasons why I keep going is what you just talked about. I want to convert the Larrytarians into libertarians. I'm trying to build the party out as a whole because I am a libertarian. That's who I am. That's why I ran as a libertarian. So I think many of them came because of me. People have told me that. I'm a Larrytarian, not a libertarian. But I want to get more to become libertarians. I'll take Larrytarians. I'll take them. Because if you're going to stay Democrat, Republican, but support the ideas that I've talked about and vote for the right people when the time comes in your area that will support these ideas, I'm good, right? I don't have to get credit for these things. My website, LarrySharpe.com, is still up with all the policies. Anyone can steal them. Steal them. My goal is to change the state, make it better. Who gets credit? I don't care. But I do want to move past me, right? If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, does it end? I don't want that. So I'm trying to convert them to libertarians. Right now, it's still more Larrytarians, libertarians, but we're slowly changing that. That's part of my mission.
Okay. Following that vein and looking at that, we've seen, are you getting feedback, and what feedback are you getting from the Republican Party, the Conservative Party, even the Democratic Party to some extent? Because obviously you've made a very big, you've helped to move the Libertarian Party into a brand new position and change the balance of power in New York State.
100%.
How are they reacting?
The conservatives just ignore me. The party itself totally ignores me. The actual conservatives love me. If you're an actual conservative in New York State, you like me. You may not want to change your party, but you know I was the only candidate who actually respected conservatives. The others didn't, and they saw that. So the actual New York conservative tends to like me, if not support me, at least like me. They tend to. The party elites can't stand me because I make them look bad. They don't like me, don't talk to me at all. Republicans, the establishment hates me. They still have like pages against me. They still say bad things about me. The establishment hates me. But the average Republican is either neutral or likes me. When it comes to Republican candidates, many of them are trying to get our line. A lot of Republicans have come to us to try to get our line to run Republican and Libertarian. They want our endorsement. Many have come.
Right.
Dozens have come.
I know.
Yes.
I've heard.
There we go, yes.
I've heard.
And Democrats. Downstate, Democrats are coming for us also. They're trying to run in the Bronx because for those of you who might not know New York City, it's so establishment. If you're an out-of-the-box Democrat, you can almost not get anywhere. And they want to try because of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? Mm-hmm. But AOC was an anomaly. She was the perfect storm.
I would hope so.
Well, no. I mean, the part I like about her is she was a regular person trying to get something done.
Right.
I give them total respect for hustling.
Yeah.
I think her policies are insane.
Yes.
I'm talking her as a person. Mm-hmm. Well done. She busted her run for that seat. Mm-hmm. She got a team together. She knocked on doors. She did a lot of work for that seat. So I give her credit for that. I wish more people would be more grassroots and would make that happen. Maybe not her policies, but conceptually, right? And those people who are now out of the box, who want to hustle, are looking to us because we have infrastructure. the Democrat Party won't give any infrastructure to that person who's out of the box. They'll only give it to, in New York City,
Right.
they'll only give it to the person who actually, is part of the establishment. See how hard Cynthia Nixon struggled,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And she's famous, and she struggled. She didn't get 5% vote at her convention,
Yeah.
and she's famous. So a lot of Democrats in the city are looking to us for that same reason.
Okay.
As a general rule, the average Democrat in New York City doesn't know who we are. They have no idea who we are. They have no idea what we do. They don't know. The average Democrat. But the Democrat who's trying to run for something, many of them want us, if they're non-establishment.
So that's a question now. The Libertarian Party, now officially recognized throughout New York State, has grown substantially.
Yep.
And that expansion then has a certain responsibility.
Sure. We've more than doubled in just 4 months.
And so what do you see happening from that? Because, I mean, the first question that has to be asked, and I asked this during the event, and I want to go over it again, is where's that end game? Where is the goal post for the Libertarian Party, short term and long term?
Sure. What we want to make happen is we want to make the step that in a statewide election, we get second place. That's the goal for the short term. Second place. Because if we get second place, that shakes up the entire Board of Elections.
Right.
And will allow more power for third parties in general. Right? It'll give Green Party, Conservative Party, Reform Party, Independence Party, well, not Reform, they don't exist anymore, Independence Party, some real power. Because right now the Board of Elections is run only by the top two parties.
Yes.
So a second place for us, I mean, that's a home run. That helps, it changes the state itself. It gives, it takes the, right now, I'll give you a good example. When I would go to Western New York in very red districts, right, very red areas, I'd go to a fair, a county fair. I'd have a booth, the Republicans have a booth, Republican booth, empty. Just signs. No one's there. Why? Who else are you going to vote for? It's a red state. It's a red county. Who are you going to vote for? They didn't even try.
Right.
Same in the blue districts. The Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The primary was the election.
Right.
She had a Republican opponent. No one could name him.
It was a woman, actually.
Yeah, her. Thank you.
And that's about all I remember.
That's correct. You can't name her,
Yeah.
right? The press didn't cover her. Nothing. It was completely ignored.
Yeah.
Right? So once you break that where third party matters, then the dominant party in any given area has to actually work for that vote. They have to earn that vote. And they can't just go, I'm not them, so vote for me. This is a big change. We do this. It'll change how we do voting. It'll change how we do elections. It'll change the outcome. Right now, it's just, I'm not the other guy. I'll protect you from the bad guy. Versus, I'll actually do something to help you out.
Well, and a lot of people are looking, obviously, New York State, we need help.
Yes.
There is no question. We're losing people. We're going to lose 2 members of Congress.
Yep, that's how bad it is. Yes.
2021. That's guaranteed. We've lost somewhere around 1.3 million people. And based on the current numbers, we may be accelerating that now that New York City is officially losing population. And if we have a census that doesn't count illegal aliens, those numbers may be substantially. It's potentially possible we could lose 3 members of Congress.
Yes. If they actually are asking, or people who are undocumented are afraid of answering questions, you're right, we'll lose a whole lot more.
Yeah.
You're right. There's got to be at least 500,000 to 1 million in New York State.
Which puts us right on the edge of potentially losing a 3rd member of Congress.
Yes.
Add in the continuous exodus. In February, we were told we lost at least 2.3, actually wound up being $3.2 billion in tax revenue represented by the people who left.
Yep.
We know in Putnam, Westchester in 2018, just in the first 6 months, we lost 28,000 people who represented $48,000 per person. The entire middle class is running out of New York.
As fast as they can.
And they're running faster as we have these new laws being instituted under the single-party democratic government. These are facts.
Yes, agreed.
So with that said, how is the Libertarian Party looking at that? Are you looking to keep people? Are you trying to convert people to? What's the point of New York?
Number one, the advantage what you just talked about is one advantage. Both sides are unhappy. Republicans are clearly unhappy in the state. That's why they're leaving in droves. Clearly they're unhappy. But they want to stay in New York because they love New York. They hate the government. Libertarians give them the opportunity to stay in New York, not waste their vote on Republican, and stick with the opportunity. Because when our voice gets heard, things change. I mentioned it during the session. I talked about the SAFE Act and how to ignore and not enforce the SAFE Act. I got 2% of the vote, and they're doing it already. Imagine if I got 30%.
Yeah.
Imagine if I got 25%. I still go to events. I get 2, 3, 4 dozen people to show up. I got 2% of the vote. Imagine if I got 30%. I still get on TV. I still get radio. Imagine if I got 30%, 20%, right? I talk about my MTA plan. They started to pick up piece of my MTA plan in New York City. I got 2% of the vote. Imagine if I got 20% of the vote. That's what I'm showing. Vote for me. People will listen to me. People will listen to our ideas. People will start taking our ideas, and we'll start changing the state. But Democrats are also unhappy. Most Democrats I know hate Cuomo and voted for him.
Yes.
Hate him and voted for him.
Quite a few.
Yes, they just don't like Republicans. Oh, sorry, they're afraid of Republicans. That's maybe a more accurate statement. They're afraid. They think, oh, Republican, if they win, then all my kids are going to be murdered tomorrow. They just are so they're so afraid of Republicans.
Yeah.
Right? And Trump is going to kill us all. He's going to eat our babies. Right? I mean, they're so afraid. So literally, I have friends who voted for Cuomo, and then 2 days later, protested the Amazon deal.
Right.
It's his deal. Why did you vote for him?
Yeah.
Right? Or now they're mad because in New York City there's congestion pricing. This
You
is
voted for
plan.
him.
You voted
Yeah.
for it. Why are you mad? You should be happy that you voted for the guy. You're getting what you wanted. He's like telling the truth.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
These are the policies he told you he was going to put in.
That's correct, and he's doing it.
Yeah.
So I think one we can tell people, look, you can vote for Libertarian. You can still be liberal. We're not going to force you to be anything. We're not going to eat your babies. None of that stuff. You can still be you, but you don't have to vote for someone that you know is corrupt. You don't have to vote for someone who you know is bad. And they know he's corrupt. This is why the Republican campaign didn't work. It was, he's corrupt. There were no Democrats that wasn't true. They knew that was true.
Right.
They were just so afraid of Republicans, they didn't care.
And that's a very real question about the corruption that's intrinsic in New York State. And I don't think anyone questions that.
That's correct.
You could even argue this is Tammany Hall 2.0.
Sure.
In many ways. But we're not seeing a change with that. But let me ask, one of the things that would be asked is to help promote the Libertarian Party, to help get that transition to move more fast. Many candidates sometimes go from one election directly into another one, trying to get that momentum to continue in that way. Mm-hmm. And you happen to be in, we were talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC herself, who I'm not a fan of at all.
Nor am I.
But she's your representative.
She is.
You're in the New York 14. And people would say, well, why wouldn't you transfer this momentum into a race against her, especially when we know Nancy Pelosi hates her guts.
I'm happy to explain why. The first reason is I'm not going to win, nor will I make any impact.
Before you go further.
I will make neither. I won't win nor make impact.
Well, I got to ask.
Please, go ahead.
Why do you say you wouldn't win?
She's very popular in her district.
Is she?
Yes.
I mean, being outside the district,
She's
you hear lots
popular
of different
in her
things.
district.
Okay.
She's popular. Don't get me wrong. Are some of them mad she's spending so much time on bigger issues? Yes, but not enough to vote for her. Not enough for that. They're disappointed. That doesn't mean they wouldn't support her.
Okay.
You see, the stories you hear is people are locally disappointed in her. That's
Yes,
true.
I've heard that.
100%,
Yes.
and that's totally accurate. Totally accurate. But enough to not support her? No, they still love her.
Okay.
They would still, it's just like Cuomo. They hate
Corrupt.
Cuomo, and they still vote for her.
Yeah. Right.
So they're unhappy, and they still vote for her.
Okay, and that's
Because
a reality of
and
New
the
York.
problem is, the guy who was there before her, Crowley, he was literally the poster child for the establishment.
Okay.
He lived in Virginia.
Okay.
Literally.
That's bad.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
bad. He didn't even realize she was running against him. He didn't realize it.
Yeah.
He was caught completely off guard. He had money in his bank account still. He didn't spend it because he didn't realize that she was killing him. That's how just completely
Disconnected
he was. He had no idea. She's knocking on every door in your district and you don't know? That's how disconnected he was. So who's going to beat her? Somebody else going to show up to beat her? She gets so much press. She was on Deezus and Mero, I mean, which is the Bronx show.
Yeah.
I mean, she is just
Okay.
hard.
Well, that explains, and I know people would say, well, why wouldn't you run? How can you be so sure of that? So, and those are
But
realities
I'll
of
go
New
one
York.
more step. Let's say I could win.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's say I'm totally wrong, and you show me the way, and hey, Larry, here's the math. You could win. All right, great. So I go there. I ask people for tons of money. I'm gonna need literally millions of dollars to fight her.
Minimally.
Millions to fight her, right? So I'm now have to go and ask all my people out here who I've asked before, give me more money. Give me millions. Or I have to go to corporations, or I have to go to PACs, or I've got to go sell out somehow, right?
Probably have to do all three.
Probably, yes, that has to happen, right? And what if I lose? So I sold my soul and punished everyone around me to lose and to make no impact. But what if I win? I'm wrong, and I actually win this thing. Okay, I go win it. Now I win it, right? And now I spent that money and I win it, and what do I become? Another congressman sitting. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Another congressman who will have no power. Another one who will have no power. I'll make no actual impact. I'll just be a guy there, right? Look, I love Amash.
Yeah. Justin's great.
I love Amash.
Yeah.
I talk to his people. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't make any impact.
True.
Doesn't make any impact. And I love Massey.
Yeah.
Makes some impact. On the left, I love Tulsi. Makes some impact. Maybe make any impact. These are the most liberty-leaning Democrat Republicans that we have.
Right.
Those three, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of people don't like Tulsi because she's for Medicare for all.
Yes.
But when it comes to Democrats,
As far as they go,
correct.
Yeah, on their party line,
100%.
yeah.
Most libertarian you can find. They don't make any impact. Now, what if one of them were to run for president and actually get the big stage? They might make more impact if they were to do that, right? I know Tulsi's running now. If she gets the nomination, she'll make some impact, right? Massey and Amash aren't running. But if she was running, she might make some impact. Maybe. So why would I want to be a congressperson, spend that money, time, and energy to make no impact, when I'd rather wait till 2022, run for governor again, and make impact, win, lose, or draw?
Okay.
Win, lose, or draw 2022, I make impact. Odds are I come in at least third. At least third.
Which is realistic.
At least.
Yeah.
That's impact. People notice that. They will hear my ideas again. I'll be back. I'll be talking to you again like this.
Yes,
We'll be doing
yes.
this again.
Right.
Right. More people hearing it. I'll make actual impact in my state, which will again affect the country because people will start stealing my ideas. They're doing it in DC and Florida already. So they're gonna start stealing my ideas. And that's what I want. Impact is it. Look, if I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna start bugging you and say, Michael, give me some money. I need money, I need time. Right? I don't want to do it just cause. I want you to invest.
Right.
I want you to be like, yeah, I'm putting money into this, I'm putting my time into this, because there's gonna be something at the end. That's why.
Well, see, and it's important to know because a lot of people think, well, a lot of people who aren't in politics or are looking at it in the very short term don't always necessarily see
Yes.
there's a path there or
Yes.
there's a plan there. And I know that they ask.
Yes.
And I've been asked before, what do you think he's going to do? I'm like, well, I'm not exactly sure. Now today, I have a much better idea, and so that's always important.
Would I run in 2020 only if I thought there was going to be some impact in something? If I don't think there's going to be impact, again, it bothers me. You heard me say it. When I ask people for money, I put my own money in too. I never just ask, I put my own money in.
Right.
And I don't take a salary, so I'm literally losing a year's worth of salary. So if I'm sacrificing myself, I don't have a problem asking you for money. And I ask money all the time. I did it down there. I always ask for money.
Right.
Because I'm putting my own money in. I can do that. I feel comfortable doing that. But if I'm going to do that, there's got to be some outcome that makes sense. I don't want to sacrifice another year and a half of my life.
Yeah. In elections, for people who haven't run in an election, they just don't understand. I have.
So you know.
And running for Congress, spent a year of my life doing it. And
Absolutely.
It takes a lot.
It does.
It's a toll. It's a major toll on you.
Absolutely.
So I do understand and appreciate that. Let's go back to talking a little more about the Libertarian Party. Right now, we see and we were talking a little bit about this, 2020 race, it's going to be massive. Mm-hmm. We've got 33 potential candidates, 19 have declared already. There is a massive race in the nation to go to the furthest of the far left. Mm-hmm. We're seeing gender identity politics, or what I like to call micro-categorization, occurring, and the nation is
because
being
you know what
twisted.
It makes it fair when you put people in boxes? Putting them in more detailed boxes.
Yeah.
That makes it completely fair at that point.
Yeah. We're not just black men. We're
Yes.
old black men
Exactly,
or whatever else, straight black men. I mean,
Exactly.
it's like, how many boxes?
Now
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I've got 7 boxes, now I'm better.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where they're going.
Yes,
And,
agreed.
and as much as we're laughing about it, and I think there are many Republicans, conservatives, and libertarians that do laugh at that and say, that doesn't make sense. We're seeing that the left, AOC and many others, Ilhan Omar and several others, are pushing even further.
Yep.
And according to Tom Prince, DNC chair, this is the direction in the future of the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Given that that's where they're going for 2020, given that's where they're saying they're going to take the party, how do you see, specifically in New York and maybe even generally on the national level, how do you see the response from the Libertarian Party?
Yeah. To be forward, we're probably going to struggle. I'm not sure we're ready. If I look at how New York responded to me winning, our party was not ready at all. Remember, the Libertarian Party's been losing elections for 40 years.
Sure.
So we all of a sudden got ballot access in New York State. We hadn't had ballot access since I started 46 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's the first time. We were like, oh, we got ballot access? Now what do we do?
Right.
We really didn't know how to act, to be forward with you. And it took us several months, and we're still working on it, right? You know, our chair is speaking now,
Yeah.
talking about how we had to get around that and react. And we've struggled, to be forward with you. We've struggled not knowing how to take advantage of this. What I want to do is I want to say, look, no matter who you are, we focus on one thing. And you heard me say it in the room, respect.
Sure.
This is the real reason why left and right don't get along. It actually isn't policy, believe it or not. Think about it. You go back 10 years, there were Democrats that wanted to build a wall.
Yes.
Right? And
Many
yes,
of them.
and Republicans like, cost too much money, fiscal conservative. Remember? Republicans didn't want the wall, and Democrats wanted the wall, right?
True,
Because Republicans couldn't, how you going to pay for it? Remember that?
Yeah.
Now it's the reverse. Now it's the Democrats, oh, how you going to pay for it? Republicans got to have the wall. It's not policy. It's the idea that we don't respect the other. Right? Now, if you're a conservative and you call someone a liberal, that's not a descriptor. That's an insult.
True.
If you're a liberal, you call someone conservative, that's not a descriptor. That's an insult. But if you're libertarian, it's just a descriptor. If you're conservative, okay, that's not a good or a bad thing. That's just you doing you.
Right.
Right? You're liberal, that's just you doing you. So we're the ones who show respect. And the hope is people who are feeling disrespected but disagree with where their party's going will come to us. That's what I'm preaching constantly. Many libertarians aren't. I'm hoping more will copy me. Right? I'm the one saying, you heard me say it,
Yeah.
we're about respect. I don't need to convert you.
Right.
I don't need to convert you. If you're a liberal and you hate Democrats, I'm here for you. If you're conservative and you hate where the Republican Party's going, I'm here for you. That's what I'm trying to achieve. If we copy that, I don't know if we will, we're going to gain a lot. Because there are a lot of people who are conservative but don't like where the Republican Party is going. More right now who are liberal who don't like where the Democratic Party is going. But neither side feels they have anyone else to go to.
There is a lot of people in that confused ground.
Yes.
I
I
agree.
think we could easily, in reality, it is possible for us in 2020 to easily pick up 10 to 15% electorate. It's possible if we do it right. There's that much out there that would be willing to make that change if we're effective enough nationally. I don't know if we're going to be that effective before with you.
Well, it's a target.
Yes,
It's a
and
target.
it could be done. It's possible is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how good we'll be because we'd have to coordinate that very well, get we're on the same page in conversations. It's difficult. Our party is a very diverse party with people who think very differently about lots of different things. Hard to get us all on the same page.
Absolutely. Speaking of that aspect of getting everyone on the same page, and I asked this inside, and you were talking about home rule and the goal of home rule,
Yep.
which is, in
Let
some ways,
Brooklyn be Brooklyn and let Rochester be Rochester. Let Chautauqua County be Chautauqua County. Let Hamilton be Hamilton. That's what it really is, right? It's accepting that we have counties in our state that have 5,000 people in the entire county, and we have counties in our state that have over 2 million. Why would we think that they need the same rules? Why would we think these people think the same way? Of course they don't. They live in different worlds, which means they should have different rules locally.
okay.
The state government right now does the old elections have consequences. So I won, so I'm going to impose my will upon all of you. We want the state government to just be, look, I'm not here to impose anything. I'm here to make sure that when the local bullies come to beat you up, I stop them. I step in when your rights are being violated. That's when I step in. Otherwise, if you're happy, good luck. I want the government not to be some kind of daddy nanny state, but instead to be a firefighter. Okay. You're in trouble? Call me. I come put your house out. I'm fine. But your house not on fire? I'm gonna stay over here.
Okay. Well, taking that to a logical step, there's a big movement throughout the state for sanctuary cities,
Sure.
and also for sanctuary Second Amendment cities.
Absolutely.
So one's for illegal aliens, one for Second Amendment.
Absolutely.
And
I'm totally okay for both. Home rule. Look, here's the reality. If there's a second piece that goes with this, the idea of home rule isn't only sanctuary. That's one aspect. The other thing has to be ending unfunded mandates. I talked about that like there was no tomorrow during a campaign, because when you have unfunded mandates, it makes every county pay for every other county. Of course you don't like what New York City does or what Buffalo does or what Hamilton does, because you're paying for it.
Right.
But how about if you end unfunded mandates and more of your money stays in your county and you pay for what you want to pay for?